Well, happy Thursday, my friends. So good to be here for another episode of Lean Coaching for Lean Coaches. Before we dive in, and I've got an exciting conversation and session with you today, a bonus coaching session with Youlanda Chin. I just wanted to let you know a little bit about Youlanda. We didn't dive into this in particular, but Youlanda is looking for an opportunity, and she doesn't share specifically in our conversation about what that opportunity is that I'm going to be sharing that we had here in the last couple of weeks. And she is looking for an opportunity in customer service in insurance. And you'll see right away from our conversation what kind of energy and joy and life she would bring to any organization that could use someone like her. So if you're in the position or you know someone, please do make sure you connect with her, reach out to her, and connect to those people where she could be able to shine her light. So, without further ado, let's hop into my conversation and Lean Coaching for Lean Coaching session with Youlanda. Well, hey, y'all, welcome to another fun filled episode of Lean Coaching for Lean Coaches. I am so excited to be here with you as always, and for you to meet one of my favorite soccer fans in all of the world. And actually, truth be told, this is the first time we've actually met in person. Well, I guess in this world post COVID, we talk about meeting in person online. But man, I'm just so excited to have Youlanda Chin here on Lean Coaching for Lean Coaches. Welcome. I'm so excited. I'm flustered. I can't even put three words together. I don't even know.
Great to finally meet you
Yes,
virtually.
that's right. Yes. Well, hey, for those folks that don't know you, aren't connected with you, and if you aren't, please go on there, hit that connect button with her, and get all of this great energy. I know you will get it from her. Youlanda, let the folks know who are checking this out what you are up to these days. What's going on in the world of Youlanda?
Soccer season, as you just said, MSL.
Yes.
Excited for that.
Yes.
Uh, Currently, I'm a job seeker, and it's been going. I haven't had anything firm yet, but I'm seeking a job.
Well, what are you passionate about? What are you excited about, like in your work and as you're thinking forward? Like what gets you energized?
What get me energized is helping people. That's a cliche, but when I explain, like I'm in insurance, and when I explain a policy to one of the clients, get them to understand what they're buying, that gets me going. And especially when they understand, when you break it down for them and they understand and why they need the coverage, that's what gets me going.
I think this is one of the reasons why we connected at first is we both have this kind of common background. I forget if we even talked about this, but I used to do insurance sales. So like I look back to that was over 10 years ago now. And what I loved is what you loved. Like I liked the analysis part, like getting to know the clients, where they
Yes.
wanted to be, where they were at, what their challenges were, and then offering them, hey, here's a thought for how you can move through this space of the season of your life, whatever it is, whether it was with life insurance or auto insurance or disability, whatever it might be, the retirement plan. But it's all, I think, problem solving, right? Like this is where I feel like
Yes.
the analyst, the problem solving comes in, the connection to improvement work, because we're all solving problems and you're helping people. That whole respect for people, making things better for them. So there's definitely a huge connection. I'm wondering for you, like right now in this season, you're a job seeker and you clearly have a lot to offer. What's most on your mind? What's kind of the biggest thing that's taking up your headspace right now in this space you're in right now?
It probably maybe in the follow up, because I don't know what is too much to follow up. I will send out the resume, fill out the application, sometimes even speak to the person over the phone, the hiring manager,
Yep.
and nothing afterwards. So I would say I will follow up. When to follow up? Is it too much? Am I being a pain? I think that's
Yeah. I think you're all alone on this. I don't think anybody in this economy right now looking for work or has in the past has ever understood this experience that you're having right there. So no, I'm just kidding. So I think this is like the eternal pain point for like job seekers, especially ones like yourself who are passionate, like you're you're obviously qualified, you're sharp, you can do the work, but then okay, how do I get that opportunity? So I guess maybe it would start with maybe we can start off with what's your like dream scenario like overall, and then we can work backwards from there. Well, like if you could paint a picture of what the ideal job and the scenario of getting to the job would be, what would that look like?
cliche again. We actually get in the job, being hired. Say you're
Yep.
hired. Um, I I think get working backwards, maybe getting through actually get the interview and then working through the interview process. That would be displaying my coherently displaying the skills why I'll be suitable for the job. Um, yeah, that's about it. To making presenting myself well to the hiring manager, and since I only apply to the companies that I would like to work for, um, I would like for them to see that I would be a great fit for them. So yeah, that would be it for me.
So like what maybe you could give a like maybe paint a little more picture of that I love the like you're hired thing. I mean, like that's simple, but that's like perfect. I mean, that we doesn't need to be complicated. We don't have to make the end goal like some fancy thing. It can just be that very thing. Um, what do you picture yourself like experiencing in that moment when that happens? Or and also too, through the hiring process, what are you experiencing in the ideal kind of scenario with that? What would you be feeling? What are you seeing? Like if you can picture in your mind's eye what's happening, what sorts of things are going on, and how are you feeling through this whole experience, like in the ideal world?
That my I'll be exhilarated. My preparation is paying off because I do believe that being prepared. Yes. So yes, that would be it. I'll be exhilarated that my preparation had paid off. That the hiring manager seeing me what I'm trying to display, and not just display, it's just that the way I am.
Yeah, I think like, and we had a conversation before we came on how in our world right now, and in what is it, Insta Talk, or I don't know, what do the kids watch these days? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on all of these platforms, right, we can be whoever we want, like, but that doesn't necessarily reflect reality. And what I'm hearing from you is you want to be able to show up as the authentic Youlanda right there. And they're like, damn, we need her up in our place to make a difference and an impact. And I think that's what everybody wants, like the quality people, right? I know there's a
Mhm.
handful of folks out there, maybe they don't give a damn, but knowing you, I know that's how you want to show up, and that's beautiful. I think that these are great ways. Like if we can picture ourselves in the way that we like in the ideal scenario, I that's the first step, right? It doesn't mean like, oh, that's automatically creating it, but like if we don't even have that, how can we even hope to get to that place if we don't know what it looks like? So I think that that's great. So we've got like a pretty good picture, it seems like to me, of where you want to be. How are things, right? So we know where we want to be. But now we got to get honest. Where are things at for you right now, as much as you're willing to share in this journey? So you want to be in that exhilarated place, you're hired, feeling like the full Youlanda is being able to show up. Where are you at right now in relation to that?
Sending out resumes. That's what I'm in the process of doing. And one thing that I'm not 100% good at, but I've started this year is networking. Getting out there and networking.
Well, tell me a little bit more about you're sending out resumes. Tell me a little more about what does that look like? What's maybe just take me through an average, I don't know, day or morning or whatever, like if you have a typical process for, applying or sending out resumes.
Okay. I go for the companies that I'd like to work for.
Okay.
I go to their job posting, either on LinkedIn or just directly on the company's website.
Okay.
And if I see a job that I'm interested in, I will apply to that. And what I've also done, what I've learned through LinkedIn, is to go and see if there's anybody on LinkedIn that works for the company and try to connect with them. I also learn more about the company through the people who work there, because that's the best way to do it. And I wait, or I have to. It's not always successful, but sometimes I do connect with the people who work at the company, and I get to interact with them, which is also very good. And that's what I do.
Mm. So is that like your typical, like how often do you do that kind of go through that process?
I try to do it every day, but that could get overwhelming sometime. And plus, I volunteer, so I can't do that every day, but definitely once a week.
So you have a process, you do it consistently on a fairly
Yes.
consistent basis.
Yes.
Um, so we know you got a good idea of where you're at. What do you feel like right now is your biggest pain point in getting to where you want to get to with things? With, this ideal that you've just talked about, like feeling the exhilaration, you're hired. What are those obstacles that are keeping you from that?
I think I need to be more proactive, especially with the follow up. Because sometimes hearing no, I'm just like, okay, it's no, or hearing no answer, I figure it's a no. But I think if I follow up, keep on following up.
What else? What else do you feel like is like a pain point for you in getting to that? So we have the follow up. What else?
Um, as I said, I'm starting to network more. I think I could do more of that with the persons in the field because I have been, especially through my volunteering, I've been networking as
Okay.
such.
Yep.
But for the people who are actually in the field and for the companies I'm applying to, I think networking in more with those people would also help me.
Do you know what's keeping you from networking in a way that's meaningful?
I guess it was maybe coming out of my shyness.
I cannot believe you just said
Um,
shyness. That's 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 surprising to me. Well, with all the conversations we've had.
maybe hearing no or for them not having time
Hmm.
and finding the network events to go to because the network events that I've gone to, there's usually people in other fields, not in the field that I'm in.
Yeah. So finding like a networking group that is like in the industry or connecting with people that you are trying to build relationship with in the industry that could lead to an opportunity.
Yes.
So of the all so you listed, so you've already got like 4 or 5 things here, which is great. Some people think that like pain points or obstacles are like, oh my gosh, I don't want to like think about those. But honestly, those are exciting because when you start naming that, you can
Mm-hmm.
start actually trying something to work through it. If we're scared to face those problems, we can't do anything about them. They just kind of stay in the background and we're just gonna keep ourselves where we are, which, you know, yeah, clearly you don't want that.
Good.
Right. But so naming these things is great. So I just applied you for first off for calling these things out. The one that stood out for me, and then I want to kind of see how you feel about it though, was you said that fear of hearing no. Could you say more about that and what that is?
It's never a good feeling, and fear of rejection. After the fact, I guess I could see the yes, it wasn't meant to be, but at the when it's happening, it's never a good feeling. So yeah, the fear of rejection is real,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's really all. It's just not a good feeling,
Mm, mm.
and it's something I got to work at getting through because it's easier said than done. But it's usually in afterwards looking back. But in the moment, it's not a good feeling.
Well, first off, before I ask the next question, I think we're all shaking our heads at the same time. Being an entrepreneur, being out there having daily conversations, offering services, that hearing no, it's hard to in the moment ever feel like, oh, that this is a great thing. Yes, it's all the positive mind folks, set folks, and I'm one of these people. I coach folks. It's for you. It's for you. Well, like in the moment, it doesn't feel for me. You know
Mhm.
and as you said, you circle back around and there can be some more reflection for sure. Um, I'm wondering, for you, what's around that fear of rejection and whatnot, and being told no. Um,
Maybe because it happened before, so I'm thinking it will happen again.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear that.
Mhm.
That doesn't feel good either. Like, um, I don't think I've told this story like, well, I guess there's two things that come to mind. One personal and one professional. I'll share it real quick because it's not about me. It's about supporting you. But just so that you're not alone, right? In my previous um, place I was working at, I was looking for a lean position, and I applied like 4 times for a
Mhm.
position and got told no 4 times. This is a company that I gave my heart to. I cared about. I love the people. I love the culture, but I never got the opportunity. So once you get to that like fourth time, you're like, how many times do I need to get stabbed to realize, and that hurts. So I've been on that road. It doesn't feel good. And at the same time, that was actually what the impetus was for me to jump out on my own. Not that that's for you or anyone else that's in that position at all, but that was what prompted me to actually move to where I'm at now, which I'm thankful for. Um, so what, like, if you're thinking about, all of these things you've listed, and I thank you for being open and sharing what you did. Um, which one of the things that you've listed do you feel like's the biggest challenge in your way of being able to move forward? If you were to like just pick one of those, what's the biggest one that okay, if I can move through this, this is going to help me move forward to that you're hired exhilaration.
I think maybe if I get over my fear and also the thinking that I am being a bother, the follow up. I think I'll follow
Mm.
up more. So just say, like for you, I'll ask you, what do you think is the amount of time that I should do it? What do you say? Like if you were a hiring manager and I came to you, say,
First off, I'd say you're hired. No, um well, I'm gonna be a real pain and be a coach here, because I think it's different for everybody, right?
mm-hmm,
And I I I tend to work backwards. And you said the word, and you didn't quite finish the phrase, but I'm gonna like pick on a little bit. You said the word bother, right? And I know
mm-hmm.
this is people, so maybe you could say more about that word and what kind of what your thought was with that.
Um, I, my thinking is that the iron manager has a lot of other people that they have to get through, and they're also working with the managers of who the type of person that they want. So they may not be able to get back to me, or I may not be the one. So I'm not a priority. So they're doing something else. So if I keep calling or texting, emailing them, it may be like, oh, this person is such a bother. But on the flip side, it could be, oh, I was supposed to give her a call back. Or, oh, she's interested in the job. So it could work either way, and you never know. So that's why I'm saying that it could be a bother.
I I it's interesting. I've been thinking, like this whole idea, because again, being an entrepreneur, I feel like there's a lot of parallels being an entrepreneur and a job seeker, because um, you're looking for an opportunity, all right, and that means you got to put yourself out there, all right. Um, you can't get an opportunity unless you put yourself an offer or say, I'm here for that, all right, or I can help with this. But that
Mm-hmm.
means you have to put yourself out, all right.
Yes.
And I was talking with someone, like DMing with someone, and they were talking about how the best engineers aren't the smartest engineers. They're the ones that are just brave enough to try something. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought, damn, that is freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm just wondering, about that for you, all right? Like, um, your um, you're clearly sharp. You've got the experience, all the things in the area. You know, it seems to me, and my wonder around this whole idea of bothering, as we're kind of moving, forward here, what's what's one thing, right, as you're thinking about this idea of bothering, right? And you've got lots of opportunities. And when I work with folks and support them, I always encourage them to try frequent experiments, right? Like, and
Mm-hmm.
if you've got like 2 weeks between when it's hard to like know how things worked out, what you learned, But with this process, there's so many opportunities out there and so many opportunities for you to try experiment. So this is great. I love this for you because you can go out and you can try something. I don't know what it is, but I'm about ready to ask you. So get ready. Um, but there's lots of opportunities for you to go out and try something and see what happens. So with that said, you're thinking about this obstacle, right? What's one little thing, something that you'll actually go and do? It might be a little bit tough, and that's okay. But what's one thing that you could go and do in the next day that could help you move just a little bit forward through that, you know, idea of being a bother, and helping you move forward in this journey?
I could, I guess something that I've been meaning to do. There is a women's insurance networking group. I could actually join that and see when is their next meeting. I could go online, go on LinkedIn, look them up, see where they are in my area, and go and join the group.
And how do you feel like what's your expectation of how this will help you with this challenge that you're having? How will this help you, take a little bit of nudge forward in this area?
I think it will bring my networking full circle because, as I said before, that I wasn't necessarily networking with people in the industry that I want to be in. So since there'll be fellow women that are in the industry and I could learn a lot from them, and maybe they could guide me in the right direction of landing a job.
How do you feel this will help you with your challenge with kind of that mentality of feeling like you're a bother and that kind of thing? How do you see that being a help in that space?
I think networking, talking to those women, the companies that they work for, what their challenges are, talking to them, asking them how it is working in companies that they're working in, if they're business owners, how it is with their businesses, and they could give me direction. I think that would be good.
That's awesome. Well, what do you expect from this? What do you It's just a hypothesis, right? We're not like we don't know, but how do you expect it'll go? What do you expect to like feel and experience?
Relief that I finally did it. I'm
Yes.
finally there with the um, number one, develop friendships.
Okay.
Um, in my networking, there's always somebody that I end up being good friends with, develop friendship, and get over my fear of actually networking, being one on one in person. So yeah, that's what I hope to accomplish.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want to ever make friends with anybody on LinkedIn, especially a crazy football fan who does coaching. That would be just absolutely nuts for you to do something like that and then go on and actually go live and do coaching. That would be even crazier.
How crazy is that?
How crazy is that? Well, with that said, we're like just about wrapping up here. What was the most valuable part of our conversation today for you, Youlanda?
Were you actually telling me to ask myself those questions, like what was holding me back? Yeah, I think I needed to have said that out loud.
Hmm.
So that's what I took from the conversation.
Well, I think you all can see why I connected with Youlanda. She calls herself an introvert, but you can tell that's clearly not just her smile, her energy. I mean, God, I can feel it from miles away. And I hope you do too. So please connect with Youlanda. And of course, if you know of opportunities or you have a thought or encouragement, please send that your way. And it'll be coming back tenfold from her on her end as well. And if you want to be a part, you want this kind of support, that's what I'm here for. Please shoot me a DM. I'd love to be there for you and walk you through. We can talk soccer too on the side. Of course we can do that. I'll probably do
And
that.
you.
Yeah, and we'll get to have our fun conversation. And of course, you're going to want to join us every Tuesday and Thursday at this same time for more of these kind of coaching conversations. We're going to talk about marketing, sales, all the things. So again, please join us. And thank you once again, Youlanda, for coming on today and being open and honest. And we're just so glad to have you here today. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Sam.
Take care, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here for another fun episode of Lean Coaching for Lean Coaches. And man, if you didn't just love and feel such a big heart for Youlanda, I don't know if you have heart. I mean, come on. So please, if you know someone in the insurance space, a recruiter, a hiring manager that you could connect her with, you could feel that energy, man, do what you can to connect her into that opportunity. And I'll tell you what, I actually asked Youlanda, how things have been going. This was like a week or two ago. We had this conversation, and she said that she attended a networking event and she met some interesting people, and they connected well. I'm looking forward to keeping in touch with them, and that she learned that it wasn't hard to step out of her comfort zone, and people are genuinely good natured and curious. So you can already see she's stepping through. She's doing these amazing things to move through her challenge. So again, please do connect her with some other great folks that in the insurance space that are looking for someone like her, a bright light. And of course, join us next Tuesday. I am so excited because next Tuesday, we are going to be joined by Alexi Lamadrid. I know him well. I just have never been able to pronounce that last name. Alexi, we're looking forward to having you on Tuesday. It's going to be a fantastic time. Thanks again for jumping in on a Thursday, y'all. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Be well, and we'll catch you again